that we are advocating not just a review, but even a unilateral abrogation of a treaty that is already anachronistic and has outlived its usefulness.
And may I add, and dangerous to the nation.
And to the region.
And to the region, and to the world.
And to the world eventually.
Lalo na. Okay, there are now 6 U.S. bases admitted in the Philippines due to the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement based on the Visiting Forces Agreement, which has been based on the Mutual Defense Treaty, which the late Miriam Defensor Santiago and 14 other senators in 2016 said is unconstitutional because it should be treated as a treaty, but it was not referred to the Philippine Senate. Now, the danger has increased for the Philippines to have these American bases here, which we have just quoted earlier. Ambassador Yambao says it's a magnet, for these hegemonic powers. Now, this becomes more important today because the United States is pulling out of the INF. Ano po yung INF? That is the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces. This is what Trump says. It's down there below. If you remove that title there. It's a threat to whoever. This pull out from the INF treaty, Trump is saying very clearly, it is a direct quote, it is a threat to whoever you want. And it includes China, and it includes Russia, and it includes anybody else that wants to play that game. But the Philippines is not in that game. Why are we being pushed into that game? Just because the Americans have been able to reinsert their U.S. bases here. Bakit tayo sinasama dito sa gusto na laro ni Trump? Na hindi dapat kasama ang China sa INF Treaty. Kaya nagpo-pull out ang Amerika para maisama ang China dyan. Ayaw ng China ng gulo, ayaw natin ng gulo dito sa rehiyon natin, pero yan po ang kilos ng Estados Unidos. Ano po yung Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty? For your understanding, this is from Wikipedia, which is very simple. The INF Treaty eliminated all nuclear and conventional missiles as well as their launchers, with ranges from 500 to 1,000 kilometers, and short range 1,000 and 1,000 to 5,500 kilometers intermediate range. The treaty did not cover sea-launched missiles. By May 1991, 2,692 missiles were eliminated, followed by 10 years of on-site verification and inspections. Now, bakit maganda itong treaty na ito na sana hindi nag-withdraw ang Estados Unidos? Kasi po, naging long-range missiles na lang ang labanan. Kasi hindi na isinasama ang Europe, hindi na isinasama ang Asia. Kung mag-aaway kayo ng Russia, Estados Unidos at Russia, magpalitan kayo ng missiles, long-range, ballistic missiles. Pero yun na nga, yung Estados Unidos, because of its political reasons, remove this now. Of course, there are still a few months. They're waiting for the response of Russia, and Russia says it will not change its position. If the America withdraws from the INF, it will make a response. So, yan ang sitwasyon po natin. It has become more dangerous again. Because this INF treaty was part of the strategic talks between Russia and the US na pumirma si Gorbachev, but umaatras nga ngayon si Trump. Now, this is from our friend Roland Simbulan. EDCA, the insecurities of our independence. And he says, repositioning of American troops and equipment here means deployment. After the Cold War, it became the policy of the U.S. strategic nuclear forces not to deploy in their land bases or facilities overseas nuclear weapons and so on. But that is because of the INF Treaty. Kaya the U.S. nag-withdraw nitong mga forces. But they are now withdrawing from the INF Treaty. So they can redeploy these things. And let's reflash that. The last part in orange, the logical implication of our country hosting the U.S. war machine is that we can withdraw in a conflict as a magnet of attack by state and non-state enemies of the U.S. Non-state enemies, meaning ISIS terrorists, na kung makahawak sila ng nuclear material and weapons, magiging target tayo dahil sa US bases here. This is what Ambassador Yambao was also saying, which Ado Paglinawan cited earlier. Now, gusto ba ninyo itong larawang ito sa Pilipinas? Let's flash this before we go to Ado. Do you want to see dead bodies? Hindi lang libo-libo, kundi daang libo o milyon. Hindi biro po to. Matakot kayo. At tinatakot ko po kayong mga kabansakong Pilipino. Dahil dito sa bases, maaaring mangyari yan hindi sa gusto ng Russia, hindi sa gusto ng China, dahil lang nandito ang American bases and they never confirm or deny kung meron silang nuclear weapons na dala. Kaado, Paglinawan.
In other words, masasabi tayo, inevitably. Ang sabi po, dugtong ni Ambassador Jamie Ambao, kaagibat nito, regional problems should find regional solutions. And ito'y patungo dito sa Southeast Asia revival of a regional collective security system envisioned in the United Nations. Ang advocacy pong ito is that ASEAN should take ownership of the South China Sea question because this is a regional issue. At pinakamagandang sinabi dito ni Ambassador Yambao, the Philippines na nagsimula na in the ASEAN to take over this leadership should continue. Kasi tayo na nga nagsimula nito, this independent foreign policy. We ourselves have recalled that the declaration of the ASEAN founding fathers ng ASEAN as a zone for peace, freedom, and neutrality. Ngayon po, how does this compare now vis-a-vis the Mutual Defense Treaty? This contravenes, this conflicts with the zone of peace, freedom, and neutrality. Dugtong ni Encomienda. The MDT, therefore, as an alliance treaty, merely formalizes indefinitely the protectorate status of the Philippines under the United States, a country whose fortunes rise and fall with the geopolitical and economic vicissitudes of the protector states. Sino po yung protector states? Yung Amerika. Lagi tayo nasa sabay. Wala na pong Cold War. Ayan. So, at best, bumalik tayo dito sa 1987 provision ng ating Constitution to pursue an independent foreign policy. Ngayon, babalik tayo kay Ambassador Yambao. Ito po mga ito ay mga career ambassador. Sila mga senior. Yung wisdom po nila ay nawawala in this entire discourse. Ito po ang sinabi pantapos ni Ambassador Yambao. In order that the citizens of the zone, meaning the zone of peace, neutrality, and freedom, can sleep soundly at night. Nag-suggest daw siya sa kanyang artikulo of a regional association considering a system of collective security directed at no other country Kamintong but serving to protect the region's neutrality. And he tops this with, all this cannot be realized overnight. They would require our concentrated attention. In other words, nandiyan na, nagawa na natin. In my book, A Problem for Every Solution po, dalawa ang prognosis ko rito. And this was written in July of 2015. Number one, during that time, start bilateral relations with China. Nagawa na po natin yan. Nakita naman natin ang benepisyo sa mga statistic na minention dito ni Kamentong. No? Ang pangalawa pong sinuggest ko was renegotiate the Mutual Defense Treaty. And now we are going forward with that. That we are advocating not just a review, but even a unilateral abrogation of a treaty that is already anachronistic and has outlived its usefulness.
And may I add,
Inutil na po.
and dangerous to the nation.
And to the region.
And to the region, and to the world.
And to the world eventually.
Lalo na when you have a crazy man in Washington making such threats. Ano? So, pagtulungan po natin, manawagan tayo kay Presidente. Total, lahat ng hakbang nagawa na niya. Ito na lang huling pagputol nung tanikala sa nakaraang
Ngayon,
Cold
yung
War.
mga na-insecure niya sa ganyang statement na malakas kabento, sasabi nila, paano ngayon? Madali naman po. Kung may pangangailangan ng Amerika or the Philippines later on, napakadali naman po buksan ang usapan. At panibagong areglo, segun sa mga existing and updated conditions and realities dito sa region natin.
Pero sa totoo, dito sa region natin, wala pong, sa daang taong nakaraan, walang peligro pong malawakang pagsasalakay ng isang bansa sa ibang bansa.
Wala. Ang opportunity talaga rito ay kung saan ang China ay nangunguna na sa ekonomiko po at sa development. So, kung ganyan lamang ang ipapasok, by the way, ng Amerika, no? And hindi natin sinisiro ang Amerika rito. Nagpakita po ang Amerika ng concern, no? Babalansin ko lang ng kaunti. Because masyadong naging malakas ang ating posisyon dito. Ang Amerika po ay nagpakita ng kanyang intensyon na tayo ay tulungan sa ating mga fisheries concern. Hindi naman doon sa malalayong lugar na pinagkakaguluhan natin, dito sa mga iringan sa South China Sea and all that, but as close as the Visayan Seas. Kung paano natin ito, and as well as the Sulusi, mapapayabo, unang-una para sa mga masuheto, yung mga illegal practices ng ating mga local fishermen. Pangalawa, para pagyamanin uli ang ilalim ng dagat, para magkaroon ng mas maraming population uli ang dagat. At pangatlo, mga fishing methods, no, na mag-i-empower sa mga Filipino fishermen sa kanilang panghuli ng isda para may makain tayo sa ating hapagkainan. Yan po ang mga areas, no, which is economic, Kabentong, progressive, and developmental. Yan ang maganda.
Okay, so later on we'll talk about fisheries in the region. Kasi nga meron ding mga issue na nilalabas itong si Gregory Pauling at ang CSIS at AMTI, and we will be discussing that. So we'll save some time for that last part, and we can end this segment a little early. Let's take this break.